So today I'm going to be working on this 2007 Honda CR-V. This is the EXL with the leather interior. It's the higher end, I guess, package on these Honda CR-Vs. It's a third generation. So in a lot of these interiors that I've seen, the leather holds up pretty well, but on the armrest, they've got a very thin layer of vinyl here on top of fabric that over time it becomes compromised and tears and pulls away in these vehicles. A lot of people online and on YouTube said that the best way to address this is to buy covers, and I know they have covers on eBay for both the armrest on the doors as well as the armrest in the interior here that you can see. You can see the vinyl also pulled away from the side of the seats. The leather is still pretty good, but on the sides, this vinyl again is very thin and pulls away. So they've got these armrest covers that you can buy on eBay and Amazon, and it's about $20 or $30 to get two armrest covers for the door panels, as well as about another $20 or $30 for the interior armrest here. But some people complain about the color not matching right or the quality being inferior. So another issue is that in order to recover the armrests that are on the doors, you have to take the door panel off, and there are a lot of screws and bolts that you have to take loose, and wiring harnesses and things in order to remove the armrest from the vehicle. And so this vehicle's 16 years old. I did not want to have to do that, so I tried to find out whether or not there may be some sort of product that I could either cover with without having to take the door panel off, or alternatively maybe paint this to see how that would look. And so I chose the latter option, and I'm going to show y'all how it turned out on the driver's side door panel, and I'll show you what I'm going to do on this one in just a minute. So again, this cheap vinyl just comes right off. You just want to make sure that you get the majority of it off. If there's a little bit left over, it's not going to hurt anything. But you just want to take all of this off. I'm going to take it off here, and I'm also going to take it off here around my buttons. And once I do that, I'll show you how that looks. So this is the driver's side door panel that I worked on yesterday. It's not perfect, but looks so much better than the passenger side. So the area of vinyl here had not torn away yet, so I decided not to take that off. But on top, I tore off all of the old vinyl here, and I painted this with some acrylic paint. It's not sticky. It dried well. It's got a reasonable sheen to it. I did not use a lot of paint. I just went over it with a couple of layers here, and yeah, just dried very quickly, and I didn't have to take this door panel off. I think it's a significant improvement over how it looked before when you compare it. It was basically about like the passenger side panel was, and all I used was this acrylic paint that's available at a lot of your craft stores. I think I got this at Ace Hardware. And so, of course, depending on what your paint color is, you have to get the appropriate color. But for the black interior here, again, this should apply for all these EXL models from 2007, I think, through 2011 of the CR-V. So the amount of paint I used and worked with, I would squeeze out about a quarter-sized amount of the black here, and then I would mix in about 4 small drops of the white into that, because with a 16-year-old car, the black's going to be faded a little bit, and that was the appropriate tint and color to get me pretty close to how the the vehicle looks as far as a match. Unlike the driver's side armrest, on this passenger side armrest, I've got a couple little spots on it. So I'm going to go ahead and get a little rag with some Dawn dishwashing liquid, a little water, and clean these spots and just make sure the surface of this is pretty clean for paint. Probably don't have to do it, but any oils that are in here, any dirt can prevent the paint adherence a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, just spot clean. So in order to get a paint match in this vehicle, as I mentioned earlier, I'm using this black acrylic paint, 17346 from Plaid, Homefront, I guess. It's $2 a bottle, and I'm gonna mix into that so that I can get my color about where I need it. This white 17201, and I'm going to put 4 little drops. So I put 4 drops of the white into the black and then mixed it in together with a little foam brush, and this brush is what I'm going to use to apply the paint to the armrest. Alright, so start applying the paint here. Goes on easily. That cloth just absorbs it pretty quickly, so I just work back and forth here, and I'm going to cover the armrest this way, and then we'll see if we've got any of the underlying cloth bleed through, and then we'll apply a little bit more anywhere that I see cloth, and make sure that we get a nice cover. All right, so this is basically after the first application. I didn't go all the way up to the door panel here. I'm going to use a smaller brush there to fill in those spots, but the foam brush is really good for the majority of it, and you can already see here on the side, it's going to get darker as I apply paint and as this dries, but it's just I tell you, a vast improvement over what it was before. So I'm going to get a smaller brush, and I'm going to fill in here. I'm going to fill these spots so I get a good uniform first coat across everything. We'll let that dry and then come back with a second coat. All right, so at this point I've put about 3 coats on it, and I'm happy with the results, so I'm just going to let that dry. I probably had to mix paint 7 or 8 times to do it. And then the whole paint job here, because there is some detail and there are some nooks and crannies you have to get up into there toward the door panel, I'd say it probably took me 25 minutes to do it. If you don't have a steady hand, you're going to have a little overpainting you have to deal with. Just get a paper towel with a little water on it and wipe up any areas that you go a little too heavy on and touch the door panel. But all in all, I think it looks pretty good, and pleased with the result. And on this driver's side, I did this several days ago, and you can see everything's good with that. Paint adhesion's good, don't have any flaking, peeling. When I rub against it, I don't get anything on my fingers. It's not scratching off. So, you know, I'm happy with it. I'm not going to clear coat it. I'm not going to varnish it. I'm not going to take any wax and try to work that in it at this point. I'm just going to see how it holds up, and if I need to repaint it, touch it up some, then I'll do that. But for $4, $2 per paint bottle and a little time, I'm happy with the result here. You know, if you mess up, you don't like the way that it turns out, you can always recover it. Just buy the covers off of Amazon or eBay and spend the $40. But again, I'm about 25 minutes into each panel here. The interior armrests went a lot faster. I did wind up taking those off, but probably 15 minutes per interior armrest. But it sure does beat taking the whole door panel off here and having to deal with all those wiring harnesses, bolts and screws and things, and having to reassemble everything and hope that all my switches work. So I think it's a good choice for those that don't have a lot of money and have a little time and a fairly steady hand. You can accomplish this and touch it up as you go along. If you find a product that you feel that would be a good protective overlay on it, a varnish or clear coat, and you'd like to to leave a comment with that information, I'd appreciate it. But very happy. So I hope this video's been helpful and informative, and I hope you have a good day. Thanks for watching.